Greetings, sports fans. Charles Cullen and Isaac Moskowitz. It's game number 3. We've been here a while, and, well, this is the last one. Boys versus Brunswick. They look to get some sweet revenge after falling to them. They had a good first half, down 1 at halftime, but couldn't put it away. And they ended up falling big time by about 17 points in the second half. But look, GFA looks to keep the momentum going that they had in the first half of that game. Try to come out here with a win. For Brunswick, well, they played great. Just
Absolutely.
so well on the defensive side, limiting the three-pointers that GFA loves to shoot, and just converting their own three-pointers from beyond the arc, beating GFA at their own game. It was well done by the Bruins.
Absolutely, yeah, they played very well from beyond the arc, and they clamped down on their defense. They didn't commit any turnovers. They played a very clean game, and they just outscored GFA in that second half, and GFA just couldn't keep up. Even though they had decent offensive performance, I think the turnovers were a real clincher, and one of the reasons why Brunswick was able to pull away so much was because when you have a high-powered offensive team like Brunswick, you cannot give them any opportunities you can't give them any turnovers. You can't give them any opportunities like that, opportunities that they don't need. That would give them extra opportunities to make points. So you definitely don't want to do that. GFA, keys to the game would be to maintain the turnovers, make sure they don't commit any turnovers, clean game, control what you can control, because when you're against an opponent like Brunswick, which is a really great opponent, you want to be able to control what you can control, because there's a lot of things that they do that's out of your control. So if you can prevent turnovers, that's going to be a sign of a good game, keeping it close, and then trying to hammer home a good scoring surge, couple of good scoring drives towards the end of the game. That could be the difference maker. They could eke out a win with this one.
Well, Brunswick fans, we will be trying our best. We actually got a roster sheet. We'll be trying to say players' names to the best as we can. We may butcher a few. We may be a little bit slow, but we're doing our best, so stick with us. And I apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. They do happen. As here's Galetta driving up. Nice shot. That one is no good. He made such a great impact in the first game. Really a team leader. Galetta looks to come out to a hot start tonight, as Magid able to secure that rebound, taken here for GFA, looking for a teammate. This is sauced inside to Edelman. Edelman rises up. That one is off the mark and rebounded by Tressman. Now finds its way into Galetta. He drives, nice fast drive. Back to Tressman, has that one rejected by Edelman. Another chance for Tressman, that one's up and a foul, so he will go to the line to shoot 2.
Good 2 offensive drives by both GFA and Brunswick. Neither team scoring, but coming out of the gate strong. Both of them want to make a good impression in this game. And GFA, when they're playing a team like Brunswick, where they were beaten pretty badly in the last game, they want to be able to stick with it, keep their head up high when things start to get a little hairy, but also make sure they put themselves in a position where they're not trying to scramble for points, because with Brunswick, miss a couple of shots and you're in a pretty big hole.
So Tressman at the line to shoot 2 for Brunswick. Try to give them the first points of the game at the free throw line. That one is good. Makes both of them. And GFA finds them now down by 2 after both made free throws. Magid passes this one out to Schott. Weiss now at the top of the key. Here's Edelman. Schott looking for a pass. He finds Magid, able to secure that in the corner. Nice pass inside. Grills with a shot, and that one is good. So he ties this one up at 2.
Good, solid offensive drive for GFA. Didn't try to rush anything, didn't try to rush a three-pointer or drive to the basket too soon. Found the open lane and made it, and that's exactly what they need to do. Offensive balance and offensive possessions are key for GFA going forward.
Tressman from deep. That one is short. And GFA is going to get this one right back, as Magid takes this one up here. Now that pass not going anywhere, just a little bit too far out. And an inbound coming here. Looks like from Tristan Joseph.
Mayock checked into the game looking for some three-point spark, three-point ability from GFA. Going to be on display here with Sam Magid and Andrew Mayock.
Seeley from deep. He hits that one. James Seeley hitting that three-pointer. And again, Brunswick just rising, trying to play GFA at their own game. But let's see if Mayock and company have a response for that. As Edelman fires this one out. thought about taking it, but does not. Magid fires it into Edelman. Has the battle against two. Almost had it stripped away. A nice layup, but that one is not going anywhere. Rebounded by Tressman. Now Joseph inside. That one's up and put that one in.
What a pretty series there. Knew exactly where his teammate was going to be. Hands it off to him and ends up with a bucket. What a nice play.
Mayock does not have a lane. This one's now inside the Weiss. Edelman has it. He's working. He fires this one up and inside and out. Rebounded there by Tressman. Finds its way to Joseph. A nice pass in is Moshine with a put through. And a timeout called by GFA now. A 7-point lead for the Bruins. They've gone out to a hot start so far.
I'd say that was, fit 2-3 fantastic performances by Brunswick. They've been red hot on offense, and they're doing well. GFA unable to stick with it because Brunswick's defense is really, really tight in their own zone, and just unable to get anything in the middle, even when they have Oscar Edelman, who seems to have a height advantage over everybody.
The thing about Edelman is that they're not playing in the middle. He's been out wide. He's been around the perimeter.
Exactly,
he hasn't really been inside trying to look for those points. We'll see if maybe they switch that up as Nash comes on.
It looks like they're going with a three-point shooting set, having both Mayock and Magid on the court. Both of these players definitely good from really anywhere on the court, but their specialties from the land of good and plenty.
Well, Nash takes this one up now. Outside Mayock. He takes that deep shot. That one bounces up off the mark. And that one's rebounded by Seeley. Now outside. Moshine with a big three-pointer. Rises up, takes that one. Now it's a 10-point game.
Just like that, it's a 10-point game. That's the power of the three-pointer and really the power of Brunswick's offense. Moshine with a great three-pointer there. We'll see how GFA responds here. I mean, shots just not falling for GFA.
Yeah, the three-pointer's not going.
Exactly. That continues. It's going to be a long
with
night.
The drive underneath. Moshine puts that one in. And the Bruins out to a hot start, a 12-point lead early. They're picking up right where they left off, and then some of that second half of the last game. Here's Nash. He's looking for a teammate. Gets past and could not put that one in. Rebounded by Edelman. He looks to put this one in. That is no good, and GFA on a scoring drought. Almost turned over, but Joseph able to get that one. Now working against Magid. He hands this one off to Seeley. And Seeley with the drive. A lot of contact. Moshine open from deep off the mark. Rebounded by Seeley. There's the drive, and a foul is called. A blocking foul on Edelman. And it looks like Magid comes in for Grills, so the Splash Brothers take the court once again. First time in the game, probably of many. They work so well together, that dynamic duo. We'll see if they can put the chemistry together and get their team out of a 12-point hole they're in right now.
Yeah, GFA badly needs that chemistry. They don't want to rush anything. They don't want to go too fast. Take the shots that are there, and especially since the shots just don't seem to be falling for GFA. Had a couple of good drives, but can't seem to make anything fall. Don't rush. Take your time, but definitely, know where you are in the scoreboard. Yeah.
As Nash flings past a few and cannot put it in. Rebounded by Magid. Passes it out to Magid underneath the Nash, and they say he stepped out of bounds on that pass. So the Bruins will have it. Inbound coming from Tressman. And it looks like they're calling for a mass break. So a real hot start for the Bruins, shooting from deep and under the basket, picking apart this Greens Farms defense. I think Dragons offense needs to get themselves in a rhythm here. A few forced three-pointers, and, well, Brunswick, after getting those defensive rebounds, putting it in on the other end, burying GFA right now.
Right,
it's a long game.
Yeah.
They have some time as Joseph takes this one up here. Now he drives. Tries to put it past Edelman, and a nice move, but this one's going to be rebounded by Magid. Magid able to weave around a few players here, trying to get around Goleta. He fires that one, and that is a kick ball violation on Goleta, so the Dragons take this one in. Looks like it will be an inbound for them.
That was a good job by Matt Magid to, I don't know if he consciously went to bounce it off the Goleta's foot, but it ended up being the case, and GFA gets it right back. What looked like a sure turnover.
That one is no good. Rebounded by Tressman. He brings it back to Logan Goleta. Thought about taking it, but does not. Trestman with a nice move to get by, but could not put that one in. Juggled a bit, and Magid takes a big fall. And Sam Magid looked like he was getting into it with Trestman a little bit after his brother was flung to the ground. Let's see if they're going to call a technical foul. Not sure they are. Looks like there's going to be an inbound coming for Greens Farms. Magid lucky to walk away without a tech, but looks like he is going to be taken out. You can see just how fiery everybody is right now.
Oh, absolutely. When you get beaten that bad as GFA was by Brunswick, you're looking for some sort of redemption, and tempers start to flare, and that, you know, you want to keep your composure. You want to keep cool. You don't want to have a technical, because that's just giving free points to a Brunswick team
Mayock
that already has them.
Makes Molshine jump and puts it away for 2, finally ending the scoring jump, making it a 10-point game. It's comebackable, but they need to have their defense play a little bit better. As this one underneath, no good, looking to fire. And that one is taken away. A nice job by Edelman. Now Nash trying to get around Galetta. Playing great defense. Magid shoots from deep, off the mark. And that one is rebounded by Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson with a massive size advantage to counter Edelman. That's big time. As a travel is called, Corden to inbound this one for Greens Farms.
That's big for GFA, as this one looking pretty out of hand for Brunswick, and now they're starting to creep back in it. They're not out of it yet, and down 10 points, down decent-sized margin, but they definitely have the tools and the ability to get back. They just need to play a clean game, take what they can get, and don't force the envelope, and they have a good chance.
Nice play by Carl Corden to give it out to Magid and make it an 8-point game. Shifty, as Galetta now sizes up against Nash. He flings this one to Molshine. Outside Galetta, back out to the top. Joseph from the side. Molshine takes a deep shot. That one is no good. Rebounded there by Seeley, and Galetta misses from deep. Now rebounded. It's Magid. A long pass to Nash, who finishes underneath. GFA on a little bit of a run here, now down 6. Defense holding strong with some turnovers and good rebounds.
Absolutely, yeah. Great defensive performance, especially against a really high-powered team like Brunswick, and getting the points that they can get on the other end of the court. They're doing well. This is the winning strategy for GFA. Force the turnover, take what they can get on offense, and slowly but surely they'll get back right back in this game.
As Joseph misses from deep, rebounded by Magid, and now Corden passes it to Magid with a nice drive outside. Mayock wide open from deep. That one is good, and a huge hit. Andrew Mayock from the land of good and plenty makes this a 3-point game, and the Dragons have come all the way back from down 14 to make it a 3-point game. That's a big shot if you ever need one, Isaac.
Whoa,
unbelievable.
Unbelievable. What a play to swing it out to Mayock. And then Mayock makes the most of his wide open shot. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for GFA. They are rolling now. 14-11, they are right within striking distance, down by 3 after being down by 14 just a few minutes ago.
Wow.
They're playing well.
This is huge. Well, the Dragons with a lot of momentum right now. A huge shot by Mayock. A great play by Corden to find them outside, and Magid just all around well done. And the Dragons find themselves now down by 3 thanks to great defense. Look, we got a game on our hands now.
Oh,
They've
absolutely, yeah.
back. It looked like it could have been out of hand, but Dragons say, no, we're still in this one. Now down 3. Aiden Riley comes on for the Bruins. The lone substitution as Galetta set to put this one in. Nash has a tough assignment guarding Galetta, but he's done well so far. Has kept them scoreless.
Absolutely, yeah. He's done a great job guarding one of the best players for Brunswick on the court. And Nash is a fantastic player, and he's done a great job keeping
And there's a big turnover. The GFA causes another turnover. Molshine unable to get that loose ball. And Nash now has it for Greens Farms with a chance to possibly tie up the game, although you don't want to force the three-pointer if it's
Absolutely
not
not. Do exactly what you've been doing. Take the shots that are open. Take the shots he can give you. Be patient. Don't need to force anything because Brunswick will make you pay.
As that one is stripped away, Trestman has it. Outside to Molshine. He is looking to drive. Kicks this one to Riley. Riley finds Goleta outside on the wing. This one's tipped away off Magid and out of play. Caluvet checks in here for the Dragons as an inbound coming here for Aiden Riley and the Bruins. He passes this one in, Tressman unable to get it. And the tip, they say, off Greens Farms, and this will go back to the Bruins with Tressman to inbound this one.
Tight defense by GFA. They're doing a man coverage scheme. Working well so far. They have to make sure they don't let up on the gas, if that's what you would call it, on defense.
Nice defense being played by Maggot outside. Fires one in. It's Molshine. Outside, Riley. That one is good. Or sorry, James Seeley with that shot. Told you it would happen at least once. As here's a big shot by Mayock off the mark, and they say hit the top and out of play. So it's a 6-point game here after that big shot by James Seeley. And
that was big. That was deep. That was a deep three-pointer too, and just splash right in. Able to make it in. Great, kind of momentum killer for GFA. For Brunswick to kill GFA's momentum, or at least tamp down on it, because GFA was rolling. They were rolling. They had they didn't have possession, but they had things going for them. They had a great offensive scheme. They were working with that, and the Bruins clamped down on that, and we'll see how it's going to kind of even out so far. Bruins coming hot out of the gate, GFA responding, and now it's starting to even out a little bit. We'll see which team's going to break away with either a breakaway play or make a mistake that leads to the other team pulling away a bit.
Seeley passes this one into Molshine. This one back to Goleta. He always working. Gives it off to Tressman, who has that one blocked by Edelman, but a foul is called, so Tressman to shoot 2 at the line. And to try to make this an 8-point game for the Bruins.
Tressman and Edelman go toe-to-toe on size. You don't see that often. On the height advantage, Edelman usually is towering over most players on the court, but this time not so much. Yeah.
As Tressman to shoot 2 here. First one is in. The second one is also good. So now Magid storms back outside to Caluvet. Edelman now. And he gives it back to Magid. Magid looking for a teammate. He finds Mayock, has that one stripped away. Now Riley has it. Out to Tressman, has that one stripped away, and that one is going to now go to Greens Farms, as here's a nice chance. And Mayock puts this one in.
Great long lead pass by Oscar Edelman. Finds Mayock right where he needs to be, in stride, able to make that play. Good job.
Riley gives this one off. Goleta outside. It's Molshine, not able to get it. Magid with a nice rebound. Here's another pass, trying to get an identical play, but Molshine with a heads-up hustle play, able to slap that one out. And an inbound coming underneath the basket for Greens Farms as Magid and Mayock check out. And it will be Magid with an inbound. Sams checks into the game, takes out Molshine. And Magid now looking for a teammate. A violation is called. No one got open. And they call it a big turnover for the Bruins.
That's big. That's, they have possession in a game where you don't want to give them too many possessions if you're GFA. And looked like Sam Magid was calling for a timeout, but a little too late.
Riley now gives this one into Seeley. Now Goleta outside. Riley takes a deep shot. That one is off the mark and rebounded there by Grills. A nice board by Grills. Now Nash, he's looking to zip through. Puts up a shot. That is no good. Grills with a nice board. That one is up and off the mark. Taken now by Goleta. Goleta with a full head of steam, taking on Nash. A nice move and a great job by Caluvet to deny that one. But Tressman is there for the cleanup job. Outside now Magid working against Sams. Magid brings up and puts that one in. So a 6-point game. GFA just battling back, continuing to go toe-to-toe with this Brunswick offense.
Exactly, they're staying with it. Brunswick not giving Brunswick a chance to pull away with this one or anything too bad. Staying with it, only down by 6, and now they have possession after a good turnover.
And Edelman puts one up and in, so it's a 4-point game. You can see the turnovers really paying off for Greens Farm's defense, and they're able to capitalize on the other way. That's what you need to do when you're playing an offense like the Bruins. That's big-time stuff, and they're getting it done there.
Absolutely, yeah,
As
great
that one
defense.
slapped away, another turnover. And here's Kalyave. Is he able to get it back? Sams with a nice play through Kalyave's legs. Maggot looking on defense underneath. What a great play to Tressman, who cannot put it home. Kalyave on defense. No foul is called. A foul is called with an and 1. Now with a chance to make this a 7-point game after that big bucket. Great defense being played, but just chipped the arm as Kalyave is going to check out and Mayock comes on for the Dragons. 5 minutes and 6 seconds left. It's a 6-point game. That one is good. So he converts on the 3-point play. And Grills to check in, looks like after a substitution for Brunswick. Joseph comes on. Nash outside now, Mayock. Grills gets it. Trying to find the lane through. Thought about taking it, does not. Here's the jump shot from Edelman. That one is good. So a 5-point game. Joseph outside to Sams working against Nash. Puts this one into Moshine. Outside Joseph. In the corner, it's Seeley from deep. That one is good. So James Seeley hitting a few from beyond the arc. He's been a problem so far.
Exactly. He's been a problem from beyond the arc for GFA, and they got to make sure they contain him somehow. I don't know about a double team because Brunswick's a really fast team, and they'll beat you on that. But find some way to contain him. GFA's got to work on that in the timeouts and towards the end of the first half.
As Nash almost getting there, a nice play, but it looks like a foul is going to be called. So this one is going to be an inbound here as Magid checks on for Nash. And it will be Joseph to inbound. Sams trying to get it around Magid. He finds Joseph out deep. Here's Seeley from the 3-point line. No good. Rebounded by Grills. Now outside to Edelman. Has to get around Seeley. Nice pass into Grills. That one is up and good over the long streaking arm. Oh, great, a turnover right there. A great play. Making it a 4-point game. You see just how quickly that was. A nice ninja steal by the headband wearing Andrew Mayock.
Absolutely. I mean, blink and you miss it. Great play, and then that's going to be an and 1. So Brunswick responds with a great play, but definitely great play by Andrew Mayock. Great ninja play, as you said. Man, puts team back in a little bit. They're still in it. Brunswick's not letting them get a little bit closer, but GFA's hanging on there.
Well, look, with the headband, you got to be busting out your inner Daniel LaRusso.
Oh, absolutely.
And he did it there with a great steal and under the basket, but there is an and 1, so Seeley will be at the line to try to make this a 7-point game. That one is short and rebounded by Grills. So it stays 6. One shot could make it 3 outside the Maggot. Now Mayock has it. He has to get around Moshine. Corden back into Grills. Grills tightly contested, and that one's going to stay with Greens Farms as that ball almost goes out the door. A timeout is called by, let's see, is that a mass break, rather. Mass break is called by the referee. We got 3 minutes and 25 seconds. The Dragons not giving up yet. But there's been a lot of threes being scored for Brunswick. One of the main reasons why they're ahead by 6.
Oh, absolutely. They're just raining threes, and from any point in the court. They're shooting it from the yellow line, shooting it really from anywhere. And it's been hard for GFA to contain because they're such a fast team. They're playing such a fast-paced style of basketball that you can't just double team one person. A, because there are multiple people who can shoot the three-pointer, and B, because they'll just slip by you, and then they'll get the points easierly. So you got to make sure you contain them somehow. I'm no expert, I don't know, but containing the perimeter is definitely a recipe for success for GFA, and then not rushing their offensive attack.
They have 7
that could
to
help
shoot.
them.
That one is no good. Rebounded by Grills, who puts this one up and no good. And now it is Sams who takes it. Has to get around Mayock. Cross court into Seeley. Seeley with a nice jump, but they say he traveled. So this one's going to go back to GFA.
Big turnover with about 3 minutes left in the game. GFA has another offensive possession. Try to swing this one back. Down by 3, so 2-shot game. We'll see how they play this.
Here's Mayock driving against Molshine. Outside Magid with a wide open look. That one is off the mark. And this one's going to be inbound, or rebounded rather, and taken outside to Joseph. Slows it down a bit. Now Sams passes that one inside. That one's going back and out of bounds. So Greens Farms will get the ball deep in Bruin territory. Down by 6 still.
I wonder if you're Brunswick, you just wanted to kind of dive on that and just save it from going out of bounds so deep. Now GFA is deep in Bruin territory and have an opportunity to pull this one a little bit closer. Down by 6. Don't want to rush the three-pointer, though. A big three-pointer by Maggot or whoever is key and really would be a great momentum swing in this game.
Well, Galetta on defense, now swinging it inside, has that one taken away, and the loose ball is taken. Now Joseph down the way, looking coast to coast, finds Molshine underneath. There was some contact, but nothing is called. Now outside to Joseph, he takes a three-pointer off the mark. Rebounded by Molshine. Has to get around the long arms of Edelman, and he does. So an 8-point game now. Here's Nash trying to get around Seeley. Had that ball escape him for a quick sec, and Edelman couldn't put that one in, and this is rebounded by Joseph. Joseph outside. It's Galetta with a riser and couldn't put it in, so he's been scoreless so far, the leader of the team last game. And here's a catch and shoot. That one is no good. Seeley able to rise up and beat Edelman to the ball. Getting around Nash, has Corden to beat, and a great defensive play by Corden to stand his ground. Mayock taking it now. He takes a floater and puts that one in, so it's back to a 6-point game. GFA just trying to get into a rhythm on offense, try to go on a run and get some turnovers. They made it a 3-point game at one point. Here's Galetta outside the Molshine in the wing. He takes a big three. That one is off the mark and rebounded by Corden, who fires it down, almost intercepted by Galetta, and it ends up going in his hands anyway as he picks up the loose ball. This one's sauced out to Joseph. Has to work around Mayock. He does. Around Edelman, no. That one's up and in. So Mahalik able to put that one in. Joseph tried to get a steal down on the other end, but GFA were a little bit too quick for that as Magid shoots from deep, and that one is no good. Rebounded by Mahalik.
Looks like GFA's trying to rush their three-pointers a bit. Don't want to do that against a high-powered Brunswick team. These are going to fall behind really quickly, and now they're down by 10. At that threshold for halftime, they don't want it to fall any further because then the league gets more comfortable for Brunswick.
Well, Edelman looking to drive outside to Nash. He's got 8 to shoot. Looking, and a foul is called. So there will be 5 on the clock. Magid to check in. Looks like Yates also ready to check in, and Eisenson to check in. So it looks like a big team change for this inbound. Going with some physical players. And the inbound will come from Yates. Keep your eye on Magid, who could shoot from deep, or actually Magid's now inbounding it.
Both Maggots are on the court.
And that one is taken by Edelman. They have 4 to shoot. They have to shoot it. Puts up a shot off the rim. So close, and well, Brunswick's gonna go into this half, and they are up by 10. A really good showing by the Bruins in this first half, and we'll see if the scoreboard is reset. I don't think it will be. The girls' game was not reset, so I don't think the boys' game will either. We went through 2 games that weren't reset, so hopefully that's the new rule. I like it when it doesn't reset. We get to see the full score of this one and not split this one up into 2.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely want to see the full score, full extent of the score in this game, and feels like a real game even in the season where most of the games here are exhibition. So, yeah, definitely good to see if they don't reset the scoreboard. But GFA sticking with it. They're sticking with it. They lost by 17 in the last game, and to be down by 10, honestly, that's a good place for them to be.
3 at one point in the game. They just weren't able to finish off as good as they wanted to.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that's Brunswick's defense is really good, and we know that. We see that in the film, and you see that on the court today. Their offense has been really, really good. It's really hard to contain. GFA's defense has stuck with it. They've stuck with it, though. They've been able to force some turnovers, force a good amount of turnovers. I'm surprised. They forced a good amount of turnovers, and more turnovers, I think, than what Brunswick has forced on their end. So GFA doing well in that aspect. Just a little bit more consistency on offense, I think, would go a long way, because oftentimes you go through several scoring drives, drives and no scoring. There's no scoring on them. They rush a 3, they try to get it into the paint, and it just doesn't work out. And then Brunswick scores on the other end. And so, getting a little bit more consistency in the drive, moving that offensive ability, moving on offense, getting a little bit of trickery going on offense, trying to find open lanes, that's going to go a long way in the second half.
Well, big shots by Colin Molshine, who's really been the leader so far. He's hit from beyond the arc. He's hit a lot of these under the basket physical layups. He's battling well against Oscar Edelman. That's not something we say a lot. That's something we don't say a lot throughout the season. But he's matched up. He's matched up well. He's done a great job against one of the premier defensemen in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Oscar Edelman with that height advantage. Not many things get by him, and Molshine goes toe to toe with that. And really great job going in that matchup. That's a key matchup we're looking to see. These two players very evenly matched, and both players have their strengths and weaknesses throughout the game, and that's something we're going to look forward to and keep looking at throughout the rest of the second half.
Well, when GFA hits the 3-pointer, they're on fire. When they don't, they're struggling to get through this defense. It's been great perimeter defense to limit those threes, but look, when they hit them, it's a big momentum booster, and they feel like they're right back into this game. And a few 3-pointers, 3 more of those, and some turnovers by their defense that they have been able to get throughout this game. It was a nice run where they didn't allow Brunswick to score, and they were able to claw back and make it a 3-point game. They look to try to do that again, and then some to try to take the lead. And, well, for Brunswick, they got to just keep shooting well and doing what they're doing best so far. We got 7 minutes on the clock. We'll be right back in about 6 minutes for the exciting conclusion to this one. So stick around. We'll see you in just a moment. And we are back for the second half. Now, of course, since we said that the scoreboard wouldn't reset, it did reset.
Of course.
We
just trying to keep us on our toes.
About it. Let's just not mention it, and maybe one day for the boys it will not reset. We thought that we had it covered with the girls not resetting 2 times, but they're going with the 2-game approach. Brunswick wins the first one. Greens Forums looking to storm back in the second one. They had some nice runs, but it was turnovers and just missed 3-pointers that really were bad, as Grills puts this one up and in.
Absolutely, yeah. Turnovers for Brunswick became a bit of a problem because GFA started to surge back, but then GFA had a couple of turnovers themselves and ended up being a 10-point game. But like you said, it's like a comfortable, uncomfortable lead. You're comfortable with a 10-point lead, but at the same time you're uncomfortable because it's definitely within GFA's ability to come back.
As Seeley was fouled on that one, he's going to go to the line to shoot 2 to try to match Grills' buckets. Maggot trying to protest to the referee, but not sure you can do much after the fact. Seeley misses his first one. That one is good. So Nash takes this one, has to get around Joseph. And he swings it into Maggot. That one is tipped outside now, and inside Mayock rises up, couldn't get that one in the rebound by Moshine. He fires this one out to Galetta. Galetta tries to get around Nash, puts that one up and in for his first bucket. And he gives Brunswick the lead. Nash now trying to get around Joseph, pulls up from deep. The deepest shot I've seen him take all season, but the rebound is made by Tressman, who gets it back. Now drives underneath. Moshine steps back, and that one is blocked by Edelman. Seeley unable to finish on his end. Outside now to Joseph, who's working around Nash. Behind the back, Moshine tries to get around Edelman, and that one is a nice steal by Nash, who has Mayock outside, who sets his feet, shoots from deep, and hits. Sets his feet, shoots from deep, and hits. Words
common thing we're going to say with Andrew Mayock.
With Mayock when he gets that type of positioning. As Seeley passes this one inside to Moshine. Working against Grills. Cross court to Joseph, who drives past Magid. Flings it back. It's Seeley inside to Tressman with a nice bounce pass to Moshine. Joseph open from the corner. That one is no good. Rebounded by Joseph. He rises up, and that one is no good. It's being tipped around. Joseph tipped it, but they say that this one went off of Grills. So a nice job.
One reason why Brunswick's had enjoyed a good lead throughout the majority of this game is because their passing has been on point. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. Their passing is crisp, clean, no unforced errors through their passing, very few turnovers through there, and it's one of the reasons why they're able to get it to the open man, and he's able to make the shot.
As Seeley converts a 3-pointer, now Magid drives. Had that one stripped away by Moshine. Here's Joseph down the end, who finishes it coast to coast. So now the Dragons down by 3. Nash with this one. Mayock now driving against Moshine. Steps back. Nice move to make him jump. And that one was almost blocked. But Mayock able to put it in to make it a 1-point game. Dragons offense looks a lot more confident. Defense looks a lot more confident too, trying to shake off the 10-point loss they had in the last game. As Galetta passes this one in, now inside. Seeley from deep. In and out, and rebounded there by, looked like that was Tressman. Galetta tries to put one up and in with a finish. So a 3-point game. Magid now outside to Edelman working against Tressman. That one is stolen away by Joseph with a wide open lane, who puts it in for the flush dunk. Nash now has it outside to Edelman. Edelman takes the shot that was tipped, and it's no good. Rebounded. Here's Joseph underneath, who alley-oops, but they could not finish it as Tressman takes a hard fall, but looks like he'll be okay. Magid sets his feet, shoots from deep, no good. Rebounded by Mayock, who shoots a contested 3. That one is no good. Gets his own rebound. And a nice pass underneath to Nash. And let's see, is that bucket going to count, or did he call a timeout before? Looks like they are going to count, so it's going to be a 3-point game for the Dragons. That's well done.
Well done to stick with it, even after a dunk by Brunswick and an almost alley-oop. What a pretty play that would have been.
But it's a good thing that Tressman's okay. He took a hard fall.
Oh yeah, definitely. He looks like he's up on his feet, moving around. He looks like to be okay. But GFA did not let that phase him. They did not let those two really flashy plays get in their head, and Mayock really taking the game on his shoulders there, getting his own rebound. I believe he got his own rebound twice there.
He did.
And puts in the bucket,
knowing that Molshine's behind him, who has that just fantastic jump and block ability.
Oh, absolutely.
Gives it off to Nash to finish it off for an easy bucket. So it will be an inbound pass here coming for the Bruins. Puts this one into Sealy and back to Goleta to start play again. Outside to Joseph, who looks. Finds Molshine in the corner. Passes this one in. Joseph back outside. That one is tipped and goes out of bounds. So an inbound coming for Brunswick. Looks like a mass break called. Yeah, mass break is called by the referee. And when we resume, there will be an inbound for Brunswick, who looks to try to pile on some more points and put the Dragons away. And the Dragons look for a big turnover in the defensive end. Absolutely,
yeah. Brunswick's looking to hammer home a couple of drives, kind of put GFA away that way, get them into a hole that they're just not going to be able to come back from. And GFA is clinging with it. They're sticking with it. Down by 10. They lost they're down by 10 at halftime. They lost the first half. But they're sticking with it.
And there's a turnover by Mayock. Has to get around Goleta. Nice job to stick back. Here's Magid from deep, and he hits that one. It's a tie game. A huge play by Magid. You can see the three-pointers huge, and there's a big one. Splash brother. His brother's not on there with him, but he can still make an impact.
Oh, absolutely. Huge three-pointer in a game where when the three-pointers have fallen, they've been all really big because they've shot a bunch, but they haven't made all of them, and they haven't made, I guess the majority of them. Most of them, yeah. And so when they have made it, they're huge for both sides, and GFA now a tie ball game in this half, and they're looking to pull away.
As Goleta does not take that three. Here's Sealy from deep. That one's no good. Rebounded by Tressman, who puts one up, and no good. Rebounded by Corden, who fires one all the way. Mayock able to save it from going out of bounds. Puts it into Edelman, who rises up, gets his own rebound, tried to tip it home, and it will not go. Joseph now with it. Weiss trying to storm back. Goleta with a nice move. It's up, and it's in for an and one. What a play by Logan Goleta. And he'll go to the line to shoot two to try to make this a three-point play. Hasn't shot a three-pointer today. That was his biggest thing last game, but he's making an impact now with the twos and one opportunity here at the free throw line to try to make this a three-point game. That one is no good though. So they just get away with the made shot as Magid flings it out to Mayock. Tries to get around Molshine. Tried to get a shot off, but no one was there. Inside to Magid. Had that one tipped, but a foul was called. So an inbound coming for the Dragons.
Lucky foul, too. Looks like GFA lost possession there.
Exactly.
And Brunswick's going to get it back. But Logan Goleta has been such a force on Brunswick. I mean, you can see his ferocity when he's driving. Fantastic player, really fast. He's really speedy, and he just is able to slip by you and get by you. Not the tallest on the court, but that plays to his advantage as someone who can just slip by you and make those plays. Really a fantastic force on this team and a great leader.
Missed three by Mayock. Now outside to Tressman, who flings it out to Joseph. Goleta now working the perimeter a bit. Goleta takes this three-pointer. That one is no good, and rebounded by Weiss, who gives this one off to Mayock. The Mayock gives it to Magid, who shoots a deep three. That one is no good. Rebounded, it looked like by Tressman, and now Joseph underneath. Molshine puts that one in. So now a 4-point game. Maggot stops, gives this one off to Mayock. Mayock sizing up Molshine. A nice screen by Edelman to try to give him some room, but he couldn't get that shot off. Put it into Weiss, had that one taken away. And Joseph gives it off to Seeley, who puts this one in. So GFA needs to clean up their offense just a little bit, try to find some holes in the Bruins defense. They've been tough to come by. As there's a nice, that's a hole. That one is blocked. A huge play.
What a block.
An unbelievable play. Great on defense, and here outside, Molshine wide open, no good. There's the rebound. Taken up by Seeley, no good. Tressman puts that one in. And a timeout is called by Greens Farms. It's an 8-point game once again. And they got 9 minutes and 16 seconds. They've got a long way, but it's all about limiting those turnovers and making sure you make those shots, or at least try to get one offensive rebound to get a second chance opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know they're playing a really tall team in Brunswick, and it's hard to get those offensive rebounds. But you got to be there. It's all about positioning and bossing someone out. And, you know, they got to find a way to get those offensive rebounds, because Brunswick just keeps getting opportunity after opportunity, and they keep capitalizing it down the court. Also, GFA's got to clean up their passing game. They have too many errors off of passes, fumbled passes, miscommunication, clogged lanes. They got to find a way to do what Brunswick does well, which is have clear passing lanes and know exactly who you're going to pass to, crisp, clean passing, get it to the open man, and he can make the shot. That's exactly what GFA has to do. We'll see how they're going to change their game plan here to try to get that accomplished.
Nash now hands one off to Mayock. Outside, Grills working against Galetta. Now Edelman takes the drive and puts this one in to make it a 6-point game. And let's see if Galetta and company will respond for the Bruins. As he puts this one in, it's Seeley underneath Molshine. Here's Tressman, who puts that one in. Magid now taking it. Hands this one off to Mayock. He's wide open from deep, does not take it. Gives this one to Mayock, who stops. He wanted to take a three, but he did not. Trying to get around Molshine. He does, and finds some space for a pass. A nice play and a good give and go by Edelman and Mayock. Back to a 6-point game.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Great passing, great give and goes, and GFA gets the points there. They got to keep that up.
Now outside to Seeley. Inside to Tressman, who lobs it up for Molshine. Great find out to Joseph, who kicks it outside. Seeley from deep, no good. Rebounded by Edelman, and a great play by Molshine, but looks like a foul is called. So GFA will inbound this one. As looks like Mayock checks out, and Caluve checks in. Nash will also come out. So Maggot to take this one up in the halfway through this second game. That one poked away. And now Grills has it. He drives, tries to put this one up, and shakes it in. 4-point game. So GFA not giving up just yet. They're sticking around. It's a 4-point game. They're trying to shore up their defense a little bit. As here's Molshine, who flings it outside. Galetta has an open three. That one in and out. The tip away, and this one's going to Greens Farms. And a mass break called by the referee just a little over halfway through. And GFA, this is a big opportunity to get some points.
Absolutely, yeah. They got, Brunswick flinged it out of bounds, and GFA getting the ball right back. They have the opportunity down the under end of the court to score some points. See what kind of plays Coach Jarvis has drawn up for this one, because this is a prime situation, down by 4. You have a couple of good plays. Don't want to force anything, certainly, because you have this prime opportunity. You want to make the most of this. Good passing is what it starts with. They need to make sure that they don't have their passing lanes clogged and they don't commit any errors that way.
This one outside to Edelman. who gives it in. It's Grills backing up, tries to put up a tough shot, and that one is rebounded by Galetta, who fires this one all the way to Joseph. He could not convert, and rebounded there by Grills, who takes this one up. Nice job by Magid with the bounce pass, and Grills could not put that one in. A prime opportunity, couldn't put it, and this one is bouncing around. Galetta able to secure that one in the corner. There is Tressman, not able to get it, and a foul is called. So Edelman fouled, and GFA will get this ball right back. And Matt Magid checks on. Now, Edelman driving. That one taken away by Joseph, and he's able to secure this in the corner. Another big turnover for the Bruins as he fires this one to Tressman. He drives, a pretty move, and an and one. A huge play by Tressman, and Wyatt Tressman is going to shoot a free throw here on the and one. They give it to him, and he says, I trust this man anywhere.
Absolutely, what a great play. Yeah, what a great play. Getting the and one, 3-point play. They're trying to find any way to just hammer home the win against GFA, just put GFA away point-wise, and that's one way to do it.
As this to make it a 7-point game, it rattles in, and there it is. 7 points separate these two teams now, nearing the final 6 minutes. As Magid now looking for a way through. He hands this one off to Mayock. Speedily goes through, stops and shoots. That one is good. A huge shot by Mayock. That's a big three. Makes it a 4-point game.
Absolutely.
Erase that and one right off the board with a confident shot. This is unbelievable work by Andrew Mayock. As that one is tipped, now Tressman has to get around Edelman. He could not. Great contest in there. So now Magid storms down. He fires it up. Caluve does not take that shot. Now outside to Magid, directing traffic a bit. Here's the deep shot by Edelman off the mark and rebounded by Tressman. And an elbow is called. So Magid draws the foul as he was elbowed in the face.
Looks like he's shaken up a bit. May have had the win.
Taking one for the team.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And GFA is going to get the ball right back. A huge play. So Magid to inbound this one, and GFA, look, it could be a 1-point game if they make a three-pointer. Absolutely,
and against Brunswick, that's a prime opportunity you don't want to give up. So let's see what they drop here. Maybe a couple of screen plays trying to get, GFA's offense rolling. Want to confuse the Brunswick defense, get them out of position, and then get one of the three-point shooters or just anyone open and get the shot in.
Well, they fling this one out to Edelman, and now Mayock trying to get around Chuck Johnson. Caluve shoots this deep shot. That one is off the mark, and is wrestling for it. A jump ball is called, and this one is going to Brunswick. Sealy set the check in for Molshine. And Galetta takes this one up. Outside to Sams, and Galetta gets it right back. Sealy passes this one into Johnson, and that one tipped away. Galetta gets the rebound, and that one is up no good. Now Tressman battles around a few, and a foul is called on Edelman. Looked like he got a lot of ball on that one, but they say he got some wrist too. So Tressman will shoot two and try to make this a 6-point game for the Bruins. That one is good. And Grills checks in for Caluve. Tressman knocks down both and makes it a 6-point game. Nash fires it outside to Magid. They're just looking for any open possibilities to shoot something. That was not an open shot, but he takes it That one's tipped away, and now Goleta storms down the other way for Brunswick to try to give him an even bigger lead. Goleta steaming through. What a nice move. Not able to get it. Rebounded by Seeley. Trestman now has it, and a timeout is called by Brunswick. Not sure what's going on here.
Injured. He was clutching his left calf. Might have been a cramp.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure what the call is for the referees. I guess we'll soon see. But you don't want to lose a player of Logan Goleta's caliber, though we got the hope that he's okay. Looks like he's okay. They'll help him off to the sideline so we can get looked at. Looks like he's putting a little bit of pressure on that calf. That's a good sign. Maybe dead-legged it a bit.
Yeah, maybe.
That could be it.
That hurts.
Oh, it definitely hurts. We'll see if he returns. We'll see whose ball this is going to be. I'm not sure what the call is.
It looked like it went out of bounds off of Brunswick.
We have these for post-game for the Stars. What's the call, Ruff? Is it whose ball is it right now?
It's going to be white.
It's going to be white? Okay.
Yeah, so when there's an injury and the opposition has the ball, unless it's like a life-threatening,
Gotcha.
your play goes on. Once the team that's injured gets possession, you stop play.
Gotcha.
And just pick up from that point.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you. Getting the call from the referee here, so it will be Brunswick ball inbounding it after the little injury timeout. You got 4 minutes and 57 seconds. Greens Farm's down by 6. They're looking for a steal on the other end. So the inbound coming. Fires this one into Seeley. He fires this into Johnson. Now it's Sams. Sams looking for an angle. Couldn't find it. They have Seeley wide open. That is a great cross-court pass by Trestman. As now Seeley with a nice drive and puts that one right at home. A huge play, and now it's an 8-point game. Mayock passes this one to Grills. Grills, nice inside pass to Edelman. Makes him jump, and an and one for Edelman. That'll help with the comeback a little bit. With a chance to make this a 5-point game at the free throw line as Molshine and Mahalik come in.
Absolutely. Great play by Oscar Edelman, getting that N1. Puts GFA back right in it. They're not out of it yet. Much of the...
That one is in. So, a 6-point game once again after the N1. And this one's put inside the Mahalik. Working it. It's Seeley who puts it in. That one is no good. Edelman has to be careful. He's got Mahalik right on his tail. Outside for Magid. Takes this deep shot. That one off. And rebounded by Edelman, who hits the deck. Gives it off to Edelman. Here's Magid. He couldn't put it home. Gets the second chance, and that one is in. So it's a 4-point game with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. That one is up. No good. And rebounded here. Looks like it's going to be a good play, and Johnson has it. Mask falls off for Mahalik. And the refs call a mask break after the mask falls off, and it will be white ball. This is going back to Brunswick. But a 4-point game. Look, the Dragons, they're putting up quite a fight. They're not quitting. And just look, they're 2 turnovers and 2 made shots away from tying or maybe even taking the lead in this game. Very close. Anyone's ball game right now, but I think it's up to GFA's defense to try to make a stand if they're going to rally back here.
Absolutely, yeah. They got to make a stand. They got to make a good showing, good defensive performance, and it all starts with clogging Brunswick's passing lanes. Brunswick has had fantastic passing, and they've kind of gotten GFA off guard on a couple of plays, got them out of position. That's when they make their money. So if GFA can find a way to either stick with man coverage or maybe switch to zone. If you go with zone, you can clog those passing lanes, especially with a fast-paced team like Brunswick. There are other challenges that come with zone, but if you switch to a zone-like scheme, you might be able to get those passing lanes clogged, get some turnovers, and ultimately get some points down the court.
So it will be passed inside. Moshine trying to work. Here's Seeley. Takes it outside to Sams, who flings it back. Moshine trying to take that shot. What a nice move. And he draws the foul, so he will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 and try to make this a 6-point game. Coach Jarvis not too happy with Edelman on that play. And so it will be Moshine to shoot 2. That one is good. Grills checks in. There's 2. And Grills puts this one into Nash. It's a 6-point game. And Magid and company try to cut down on that here on this possession. And that's a nice swat away by Mahalik. And this one's going to go back to Brunswick. It will be Seeley to inbound this one. And Sams takes this one up. Passes this one off to Joseph. Now Moshine working. Tries to get around 2 defenders. Finds Sams. He is ganged up. Now inside, working around the perimeter a little bit. This one finds its way back. It's Joseph. Seeley with the drive, tries to get around. A nice play by Moshine, but they say he traveled. So Magid will come in for the Dragons as they get a chance to put some points up on the board. And Nash checks out. Magid now with it. A big possession coming up here. Slicing up his opponent. Ready to strike. As he fires this one in to the other Splash brother. Here, he puts it up. Edelman not able to get it. Second chance opportunity. It's juggled, and this one is going to go to Brunswick despite the effort of Jack Grills on the other end. So Moshine to inbound this one, and Sams to take it up. As he puts this one in, Seeley underneath. Moshine gets around 2 jumping defenders, and that ball is tipped out of bounds, and the Bruins will get this one back. Nearing the final 2 minutes of this game, it's crucial that the GFA gets a turnover and hits some points on their end. As Mahalik kicks this one outside. Here's the drive from Sams. That one knocks off of Seeley, and it will be taken at the top by Joseph. Joseph with the drive, a nice screen by Mahalik. They have 4 seconds to shoot. A great feed into Mahalik, who puts that one in. A fantastic play by Brunswick on their end to make it an 8-point game. As Grills now driving, kicks this one out. Magid shoots from deep. That one is good. And a timeout is called. And a 5-point game now with 1 minute and 39 seconds to go. GFA not quitting, but it's really, like I said, going to be up to this defense to try to stall out Brunswick as quickly as they can, get a quick turnover, maybe hit a 3 and make it a 2-point game. And try to force overtime or maybe even win it with 2 3-pointers made, although it's been tough for them tonight.
Definitely. I mean, 3-pointers have been few and far between, but when they've hit, they've been in prime situations. How about that? Magid shooting from way far into the land of good and plenty and making it there. Fantastic play by him. And GFA's still in it. They've kept it in it. They've been like Cheshire when they've kept the game close and, you know, just a couple good drives away from tying this up and possibly taking the lead. But like you said, they need to shore up on defense and they need to make sure they have a good offensive game going. I think it all starts with the passing. They got to make sure their passing's clean and crisp and they don't commit any unforced errors or, you know, fumbles or blocks or anything like that, because Brunswick's playing well as it is, and you don't want to give any more opportunities than the ones they're creating.
So we will have an inbound here coming. There will be backcourt press for the Dragons as Molshine takes this one. A nice pass into Joseph, has Magid to beat, and there's a foul called on the shot. So they'll go ahead and shoot 2. I guess if there's a way to eliminate point scoring opportunity, it'd be 2 missed free throws. So we will see. But these are big shots right now.
Absolutely.
That one is good. And if he makes another one, it will be a 3-shot game. So Yates and Eisenson check off. Big free throw, and that one is good. So it's a 7-point game. It's a 3-shot game unless someone is fouled and makes a 3-pointer.
Unless we see a unicorn, exactly.
And that one is no good. Rebounded by Edelman. Swipes it away, and Grill's able to get it. Here's Molshine. Passes underneath, and Sams puts that one in. It's a 9-point game, and it's looking a little grim for the Dragons right now, as that one is tipped away and a foul is called. So it looks like it's going to be a inbound underneath the basket. An inbound underneath the basket. So GFA entering the bonus now, but it will come into play next time as Nash takes this one, tries to get around. Here's Magid. That one swept away by Mahalik, and he could not save it as it goes crashing into the table. Yeah, that was a hard crash, but everything's okay. Maybe not the table, but Mahalik's fine. All the party favors for senior day, probably a little bit shaken up. They'll get the medical team on that.
Yeah, exactly. Get him into the blue tent. If only there was a blue tent.
Well, 1 minute and 6 seconds. Not much GFA can really do other than get some silver lining points towards the end. But a great job by Brunswick, just coming out firing right out of the gate. Such a fast-paced team. And they got the job done today.
Absolutely. You know, right out of the gate, they were scoring left and right. Ferocious offense. That's really the best way to describe it. Just playing their hardest, very physical team. And they rained 3-pointers in the first half, and they had a 10-point. They won the first half by 10 points, and this one looks to be something similar. So great all-around performance by Brunswick, and GFA just kind of get some consolation points. Maybe make this deficit a bit smaller, so they can take what they did well in this game and go into the next one.
So Joseph now takes this one up. He's going up against Nash, who fires this one into Sams. Sams is fouled by Edelman. So they will have an inbound underneath the basket. There's 44 seconds on the clock, 30 on the shot clock. Kalyave will come in for Magid. And Will Schott set the check in too. He will take out Nash. And Grills set the check in on the next dead ball as Joseph puts one in off the foot of Russell. So we'll have a substitution on here. It will be Weiss the check in, looking to get all their seniors in to end senior day in the last minute. So a disappointing senior day, but they played well against a fantastic Brunswick offense and a really stingy defense too. Just an all-around great team. They're playing good competition, and they rose up and matched up pretty nicely.
I'd say, yeah, they did a great job. On the offensive side of the ball, keeping with Brunswick, not letting them hammer it away, not letting them get too many, get too far ahead. And on the defensive side of the ball, holding their offense in check as much as they could. And I'd say it's a great performance by GFA. Disappointing on senior day not to come away with the win, but they played really well. They can't be, mad at the way they played against a really great opponent. And that's a little icing on the cake there.
To try to So now, yeah, just try to limit the damage here. So it's a 6-point game, being down 6 to Brunswick. That's not too shabby with the way that Brunswick played today. So as Seeley, or rather Riley, thought about taking it but did not. Now Calyabe getting it back. Shot, puts one up at the buzzer. That one is no good. But GFA is going to lose this one by 6, putting up a great fight. I guess if you combine the two games, it would be a 16-point loss, but taking the or separating them is a 10-point loss in the first, a 6-point loss in the second, and they're now 0-4, I guess, against Brunswick, or 0-2 full-time, I guess we'd say. But a great job by the Dragons, trying to learn from some of the mistakes they made in the first game and making this game a lot thinner. A lot thinner. So
definitely. They did a great job shoring up what they didn't do well in the first game, which was limiting the turnovers and capitalizing on any opportunities they had on the offensive side of the ball. GFA played well. Regardless of how you slice this game, GFA played well against a really, really, really tough opponent in Brunswick. They don't usually play each other in the regular season with league play, and there's a reason why. Brunswick is a very good team, and GFA stuck with it for most of the game. They didn't let Brunswick have their way on the offensive side or the defensive side. They stayed with it, kept it close, and that's something to be proud of. That's definitely something they can take into the next game.
The biggest thing is that they shut down Logan Galetta.
Definitely.
I mean, he really wasn't a big factor on the scoreboard, but what they didn't account for was Colin Moshine, who, no pun intended, shined through this game. I mean, he had a fantastic game from beyond the arc and underneath, getting in, down and under the basket. I mean, everything they wanted to get out of him, he did. He's definitely one of the best players on the court today. But
Absolutely.
As for the Dragons, for our 3 stars of the night, brought to you by Good and Plenty, in the land of Good and Plenty stars of the night, I'd give number 3 to Jack Grills.
I'd give it to.
So well today. He got a lot of rebounds, great under the basket plays. As a whole, he did really well job. It was well done. He had a tough matchup today, but nothing you can do about it other than just continue to play, and that's exactly what he did.
Exactly. He played really well defensively. As you said, had a tough matchup, but sometimes you're stuck with that. That's the straw you pull, and you got to work with it, and he worked with it well on a senior day. Great game he played.
Number 2, this one goes to Matt Magid.
Oh, absolutely.
One of the Splash Brothers, he hit right when they needed him. I mean, you can't ask for any more other than some 3-point shots, and he made them right on time, right on cue. Unfortunately, wasn't able to pull him out or pull out the win, but he shot well. Put some great shot selections and made some big shots today.
Definitely, and he played well defensively too, and he was right in there in the middle of the paint too. So he played really great all-around game, made some clutch 3-pointers, put GFA in a position to try to tie it up. It kind of slipped away at the end, but he definitely gave his team some ability, the ability to come back in the game. Well deserving of the 2nd star of the night.
Number 1 star, this one goes to Andrew Mayock, hitting all these amazing shots, such confidence, such power. He plays
absolutely.
with such ferocity. He gets all those shots done. An unbelievable job by Mayock. He was willing his team back. He hits that big shot to make it a 3-point game. He hit 2 big shots to make it once a 3-point game and a 4-point game, once in the first half, once in the second half. Overall, I mean, you can't ask for much more from Mayock.
Absolutely, you really can't. This is a tough game, and he rose to the occasion. He played phenomenally from beyond the arc, and also within the arc too, within the paint. He was right there with Oscar Edelman in the the thick of it all, playing physically, getting those points, getting those really nice layups to put his team, within striking distance. Unable to, actually get the striking done, but he was right there helping his team out when things were down. He kept his chin up and made some really key plays to keep GFA in it. Well deserving of the first Land of Good and Plenty star of the night.
Well, we've been here since 9:30 this morning to call all 3 games today. It's almost 5:30. I mean, this has been quite a day of basketball.
Quite a day, I'd say.
2 wins by the girls, and the boys not able to pull out this one, but losing narrowly in the second game by 6. But I mean, all games were entertaining, and GFA was just trying to claw back in this one, but couldn't quite do it. This has been a lot of fun for senior day today, and the 2 girls games behind. I mean, I could not have picked a a better way to spend my Saturday afternoon for sure. I
Me
mean, even though
neither,
my
Charles.
Saturday's kind of gone. I lived at school today, but I don't call this work. This is far from work for Isaac and I. This is too much fun, and thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be right back with the games next week as we continue to move on. And so I'm glad you guys are supporting us. We thank you guys for all the support you've given us this season so far, and we look to continue to have some more fun down the way and give you all the action. So this has been Charles Cohen and Isaac Moskowitz, and from everyone at the GSBN broadcast team, we say thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed the marathon today. Signing off.